genes of you and me, genes of you, and they're all made of DNA. We're all made of the same chemical DNA. We're all made of DNA.
Hello and welcome to the 10th episode of Discovering New Advances, or DNA, a podcast that keeps you up to date about the scientific world in an easy-to-understand language. So whether you're a student in middle school or grandparent, you'll easily be able to follow along. I'm Kira, and on this episode, I'll give an introduction lesson about bioinformatics. The following episodes will either keep you updated on genetic advances in the scientific world, teach more lessons on genetics, or feature debate about a controversial bioethical issue our society is facing today. So if you're already familiar with the basics of bioinformatics, you can skip to the following episodes about news on the genetic advances happening today and how it is affecting our world. For more information, please visit dnapodcast.com or email us at info@dnapodcast.com. So as scientists are discovering new advances in genetics, they need a system to store this data and be able to have easy access to it. As technology advances, this becomes easier as computers can do most of the organizing work. Bioinformatics is the system of using computer technology to manage all this biological information that scientists are collecting. This field is exploding right now due to the exponential expanding of the genetic field, resulting mainly from the Human Genome Project, which we talked about last episode. Lesson 7, the Human Genome Project. If you missed that last episode, let me fill you in on the Human Genome Project. The Human Genome Project set out to sequence human DNA, all of it. Their goal was to make a map of the genes in our body. There are between 20,000 and 25,000, so obviously this was a huge project. The first draft of the genome sequence was completed in June 2000, and the project was declared complete in April 2003. So you may be asking yourself, humans all don't have the same exact DNA, so how are scientists mapping the human genome? That is an excellent question. I'm glad you asked. Mapping the human genome involves sequencing multiple variations of each gene, since, as you pointed out, we all don't have the same genes, otherwise we'd just be clones and it'd be Star Wars Clone Wars. So where does all this bioinformatics fit into all this? As I said, scientists in the bioinformatics field use computer technology to store and analyze all the biological information they're collecting. When the Human Genome Project was beginning, a major concern was how all this information would be stored and accessed. Databases is an obvious answer, but designing one that fits all the requirements is easier said than done. One vital requirement was for researchers to access data and submit their own, so it had to be kind of a two-way street. Many people use computational biology and bioinformatics interchangeably, but there's a difference, so let's define each. Let's start with computational biology. Computational biology is using computational techniques for the study of biology. The goal is to acquire knowledge about living systems. It focuses more on the science aspect of things. Now, bioinformatics is the creation of tools such as databases and algorithms to solve problems. The goal is to build useful tools for biological data. It focuses more on the engineering aspect of all of this. So the relationship between computational biology and bioinformatics is very important to each field. The tools created in the field of bioinformatics can be used in computational biology. The bottom line is that they both have to do with managing big data and providing scientists access to this fountain of knowledge. Well, thanks for listening. I hope the lesson helped you out a little bit. You can further your education by visiting dnapodcast.com for more episodes in this lesson, along with others, not only in audio format, but in a written format with visual aids to help you out a little bit more. There's also a contact form on there for easy access to send in feedback about the shows or any questions you might have. You can email us directly if that's easier for you. That's info@dnapodcast.com. If you're as obsessed with social media as I am, you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, both at /DNApodcast. Subscribing to us on iTunes is a great way to keep up with the show. It will let you know when new episodes are out and automatically download them for you. That way you don't have to keep checking back with the site. So all you have to do is search DNA Podcast and we pop right up. If you have iTunes open, you might as well give us a review. That's the best way to have our podcast viewed by more people, and that way more people can benefit from it, just like yourself. You can find all the links I just mentioned, Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, and an RSS feed on the website, dnapodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and join me next episode to learn and discover new advances in the world of genetics.